In the last video, I spent 7 days with the Wooting Keyboard, a keyboard that literally upended the Osu community thanks to a feature called Rapid Trigger. At the end of the experiment, I gave my conclusive thoughts. At the end of it all, I'm still bad at speed. I still can't play speed for shit. My fingers are slow. I suck balls. Because of this, I don't think I was able to truly show the potential that Rapid Trigger has to offer. So I invited Arison, one of Osu's fastest players in the entire world, to try it out for the first time. Arison literally pioneered speed around 2015 and was even accused of cheating because of how fast he was. But that's not all. I asked some of the best players in the entire world with first-hand experience on the Wooting Keyboard to give their thoughts on it. We got insight on how long it takes for you to adapt, how it changes your playstyle, and how it affects you in tournaments, like the Round Table, the largest Osu invitational LAN event featuring 16 of the best Osu players competing in a premier 1v1 tournament for you to watch for free. Last year, I spent almost $50,000 to bring this event to life, and you guys loved it. But to make it sustainable, we're asking for donations to help make the Round Table 2 possible. If you want to help take Osu to the next level, click the link in the description down below. With that being said, if you're still wondering if the Wooting Keyboard is worth it, you'll want to watch till the end. Having Arison on board is actually insane, because if you didn't know, we actually have a ton of history together. Arison and I have actually known each other from a Minecraft server named MCPVP, back when he went by the username GazeMcGee. This was almost 10 years ago, and he was someone that I looked up to in my childhood. Having the opportunity to hang with him in person was a dream come true. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Arison.
Hey guys, it's me.
First impressions, what do you think?
Feels pretty nice for linears, honestly.
What do you know about this keyboard so far?
Adjustable actuation. You can go pretty friggin' fast if you get it down.
The main selling factor of this thing called Rapid Trigger, is the thing that has quite literally turned the Osu community upside down. We'll let him try it out. From that, we'll get his honest opinions.
This is gonna be weird to get used to.
What BPM is this?
270.
You're starting off with 270?
It's something chill, I don't know. I don't think I got a single 300 there. I gotta make such a conscious note of not bottoming out. I need to see if I can learn that. It's literally physically impossible for me. I just have to use a different technique, I think.
For people,
vibrate my fingers instead of pushing down. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Legit taking so much of my mental power to not bottom out. I give up. I'm just gonna play normally. All right, see if I can woot.
the way that he streams, he also hovers his wrist as well.
I just kind of put my hand wherever is comfortable, I feel like. But yeah, definitely hovering my wrist gives me a lot more speed. If I plant it, I'm slow as heck. Okay, it kind of feels harder to run out of stamina a little bit when you're running out of stamina, if you know what I mean. Wait, what were those?
Dude, you saved yourself on multiple occasions though.
Yeah, that was the power of the looting, I think I will admit. I would have died on any other keyboard. Wait, this feels playable now? Biggest difference I've probably noticed is it's really easy to avoid note lock, but it always just kind of feels semi-crutchy. Right on my old keyboard right there, I would have just failed. It's just I just vibrating at this point. If I'm able to get used to it and it's visibly better than blues, yeah. But for right now, for literally everything except long streams, I kind of prefer blues for the time being. Closing thoughts, pretty cool keyboard. I like my blue switch keyboard better though for pretty much everything else. I actually feel pretty much zero stamina improvement. It's only the note lock thing, which pretty much boils down to your mashing.
In general, would you pick up one of these for yourself?
Maybe.
So, in conclusion, there are a few interesting points from Arison's feedback. 1. If you prefer tactile switches, you're out of luck. All switches that use Hall effect technology are currently linears, meaning there are no options for Rapid Trigger tactile switches. 2. Arison only got 24 hours to play with the Wooting, but he definitely noticed that note lock wasn't as prevalent. However, in those situations, it's very obvious that you're mashing at that point, which fundamentally comes down to improper technique, and that's something you can fix by practicing. 3. Rapid trigger is definitely something to be used passively rather than actively. For most of your time playing Osu, you're going to be bottoming out anyway because the mental fatigue of hover tapping just isn't reliable when playing. But it can come in clutch in situations where your technique does mess up, acting like a safety net to keep your combo or your score alive. But that's not where this video ends. Let's talk to Saito, a player who's exploded up the rankings recently and has a very interesting history with the Wooting Keyboard. Chat, this is Saito, literally one of the fastest Osu players in the entire world. He's going to be joining us for a very brief segment here as we explore some more things about the Wooting Keyboard. Bro, your heart rate is at 106 and you haven't even started playing. What the fuck?
See, I have heart problems.
Wait, that means you got the genetics. Do you have tachycardia?
The fuck is that? I can't type because I'm on max wooting settings.
What BPM is this?
300.
What? Wait, is that actually 300?
Wait, it doesn't feel like 300.
There's no way that's 300.
It doesn't feel like 300.
That looks like 280.
Oh shit.
That's actually 300?
Let's try T10.
No way! Did you just FC the 300 BPM map on a warm-up?
I think so.
You warm up with 300 BPM streams?
No caffeine. Let me try 320.
320? Okay, hold on a sec.
He's coping. He's coping. He's coping hard.
Look at that. Holy shit. Yeah, so when you start streaming, you like lift up your wrist. Do you do that intentionally?
No. I just tap. And then whatever happens, happens.
What the fuck? Wait, I see what's going on. So when you start tapping really fast, you flex your forearm, and then your forearm gets bigger. And as your forearm gets bigger, it lifts your wrist up.
Oh shit.
Dude, your muscles are just massive.
What can I say? I'm black. I'm insecure about my posture.
Bro, I'm insecure about my posture. Why do you think I have my camera angle where it is?
Just see me at home. I play like this.
The fuck is wrong with you?
I'm being dead ass. I'll play it right now.
Oh. Oh.
Fuck.
Dude, I was waiting for that.
You like that shit, Ed? You like that shit?
Saito, when and how did you get your hands on a Wooting?
That's an interesting question.
How long have you been using it for?
All right, so it was August. I have a friend named Siru. He's top 3 United States. So we're like a little friend group, right? And I bought the HyperX keyboard because I spilled Monster on my original keyboard like a dumbass. And then I bought the HyperX. It was dog shit. And then my friend Siru was like, yo, you should have bought the Wooting keyboard. Like, I like this shit. I trusted him, so I refunded my HyperX and I bought the Wooting. I played this map. I was never able to FC this diff, but I was able to with the Wooting. That was my first map that I played with the Wooting. And I FC'd it.
Wait, was this before or after like that tweet came out?
This was before. And then
Before?
Yes.
Wait, so you had the Wooting Keyboard before it became like a trend?
We invented it. We basically invented it. We
Wait,
pioneered
whoa.
it.
So that tweet was talking about like some group of speed players trying to hide this keyboard.
That was my group.
What?
Yes.
You guys are the one who was trying to hide the Wooting Keyboard from the community?
After I played this shit, we were like, yo, we need to hide this keyboard. So since I streamed, it was a problem. So like they were like, Saito, you're gonna say that you used the Ducky 1 keyboard, and then that's what they went with. They couldn't say I was like lying about it because I said nothing about the Ducky keyboard. Just like my friends did that.
No fucking way. That was you and your friends?
It was.
Oh my god. I'm just shocked. That's actually crazy. Holy shit. This keyboard right here. This is the keyboard that I use.
HyperX?
Yeah, this is a HyperX Alloy Origins.
It's dog shit.
What?
You should throw it away and use this.
Dude, I prefer the HyperX.
That's probably why you're D-ranking. You should like...
Dude, these switches feel nice. They're HyperX
feel like
Red.
ass.
I can't believe it, dude. So, first impressions of the Wooting Keyboard. What did you think when you got it?
I played a Sogu 330. I hit the last stream, and I was screaming my ass off, and my mom came in my room. She was like, what the fuck are you screaming about? I have the video on my phone.
No way. What?
Dude, there's no way. He's literally been playing on it for 10 minutes.
Alright. So I see a lot of speed players talking about their technique. Their technique in order to unlock their speed. What is yours?
So I do drugs.
What?
No, I'm just playing. I actually take caffeine. It actually helps.
So that actually isn't a joke.
I'm not joking.
Like the whole caffeine pills is real.
That's how I built my speed.
What about the cocaine? Is there a specific tapping technique that you use?
I just tab.
Just play the game.
Yeah. But apparently I'm like flexing and shit. So when I'm note locking, like I think I like flex to like help not note lock. I mean finger lock.
You like go into this like vibro mode. It almost looks like you're double tapping, but not.
Yeah.
Is your speed only achievable with rapid trigger?
Nope. I guess some people think that, but there's actually clips of me playing raw gun limitation on my old keyboard. Like I was hitting the streams.
Would you recommend the Wooting Keyboard?
Yes. Yes. Buy the Wooting Keyboard.
So, with Saito coming in, we finally get to see Rapid Trigger used to its full capabilities. Since Saito was one of the first players to ever use the Wooting Keyboard for Osu, he's had months of time to practice, learn, and fine-tune his settings to be just right. Even better, his playstyle actually incorporates it so much more naturally compared to Airson, and the results just speak for itself. What's insane to me is that he's actually the reason behind this viral tweet. I thought it was just a marketing stunt, but it's real. This is the Streisand effect in action if I've ever seen one. And now we understand the perspective from two of the fastest Osu players in the world on the Wooting Keyboard. But there's still one part that's missing: the average top player. In the time since its viral success, many top players managed to get their hands on it, and I think there's a wealth of information left to be discovered. So I reached out to as many of my friends as possible with the Wooting Keyboard and asked for their thoughts on it thus far.
So I received the Wooting sometime in December. It took me a little bit to actually get used to like the rapid trigger settings that I had. I believe it was honestly only like a month or two.
I played around with the Wooting settings for around a few hours. I found out that the rapid trigger function is super OP for speed, and it just removes single lock as a whole.
The first day I played on the Wooting, I saw huge improvement.
I started noticing results quite literally immediately.
Honestly, when I first got it, I didn't really notice anything, but I would say a few months after I started to like adapt my tapping style, and I actually found it really beneficial, the rapid trigger.
I actually had two Wootings before. The first one, I asked Saito because I saw him using it on stream and I was wondering what kind of keyboard it was. And then the second Wooting I got was the 60HE, and I used that for OWC on some maps. I don't know, at first when I got the full size, I didn't really like the sound of the keyboard, which is why I didn't avidly use it. And I didn't really understand the software either, so I kind of just glossed over it and didn't use it. And then when I actually did some more research and I got the Wooting 60HE, then I started tweaking and playing with the settings, and I mean, like, it's helped a lot in the stamina department, I guess. It hasn't really built my raw speed, only because that's definitely a personal technique gap.
Before I had the Wooting, I had like really bad issues with finger locking, and after I had the Wooting, I basically forgot that finger locking was actually something. Like, I literally forgot it was a actual thing. Like, it literally fixed finger locking that hard. So I would say it caused a major improvement in terms of like speed and streaming.
I still thought it was more consistent without rapid trigger, so I almost never used rapid trigger. I noticed I'd accidentally let go of sliders and like slider break. I only started using rapid trigger again because Zudi told me that she uses 0.1 actuation and 0.1 rapid trigger.
So yeah, I do use the rapid trigger function, and I also have all the settings on low, like the actuation point and the actual like rapid trigger bit is all like 0.1, like just the lowest settings. I'm someone that gets stiff really fast and I finger lock really quickly, so when that happens, it does help me. I don't have to actually like fully lift off the key or reset it and then press it back down. Like I can reset pretty well.
I don't really use rapid trigger. Sometimes I use it for some maps that are really heavy stamina. Like I used it for Lionheart. Maps basically like that, I use rapid trigger. A lot of the maps I play, I don't really feel the need to use it all the time. In tournaments, I play a lot of like all tech. Like I don't feel like rapid trigger is needed for those maps. Additionally, like I don't feel like it helps me too much in the speed department, only because I bottom out my keys really hard, and so still running out of stamina even if I use rapid trigger. And sometimes I ghost tap, which is like I tap because my hand just shakes, and that happens a lot when the actuation is like below 0.5 or even sometimes even higher. Some maps have buzz sliders where you have to hold, and if I set the actuation too low, I'm not sure exactly the science behind it, but I always find myself slider breaking a lot.
I think it gives an advantage that no other keyboard has right now.
I feel like the mechanical aspect, like what it provided for me, is something that I feel like it's beneficial for players.
It's literally just picking up your taps more responsibly. Like that's how I see it. Like taking your input as soon as it possibly can. That's just, in my head at least, like objectively better.
Like, it's definitely game changing in terms of its settings and like customizability. Very, very good for Osu. Definitely a keyboard that is worth the title of cheater keyboard, unlike the HyperX.
In terms of like PP farming and like speed, I would say it makes a significant difference for me, at least. When we're talking about like tournament play or like streaming on low BPM, I actually think you're better off using a normal keyboard than the Wooting, because sometimes I just have really weird encounters with rapid trigger and low BPM.
I have literally noticed no differences in my tournament play. I haven't just gotten speed from using the Wooting. And I'm also someone who hasn't had any issues with double tapping or anything like that. Like I've literally never had that problem, but it's because I think my tapping control is already pretty good.
Usually for players, if they can't play speed, they kind of just ban it. And if they can play speed, then like tournament speed is not that hard for them. So I think in terms of the rapid trigger feature, at least, it's not too crazy for tournament play. I don't think it'll be like game changing.
But I can see a lot of non-tapping players use this function to help them out for like no mud 5s, DTs, anything that requires like a left hand. Many players will be utilizing this function.
I'd actually recommend not using the Wooting for tournament play or rapid trigger, because being nervous is very common in terms of tournament play. Like the actuation point is so low in the rapid trigger that I just accidentally press again, and it's extremely bad for consistency. Sometimes I wish I never touched the Wooting, but I also love the Wooting because it helped me get a lot of PP plays, but it actually made me miss a lot of maps.
So if you don't got the money, this keyboard isn't going to save your life or anything. It's quite expensive, but it is also just the best keyboard I've ever used for Osu, personally.
Like if you've hit a wall in your skill, maybe it'll help you overcome it. If you have the money, I would definitely recommend.
I would recommend this keyboard to anyone who has the funds to purchase this. I think other keyboards are just as capable as this one. The only thing that's separating them is the functionality, and even then, like, I feel like most players would only benefit slightly if they have the right technique.
I feel like this keyboard is the reason that Osu's skill is being taken so far right now. I feel like this keyboard's literally the only reason behind that.
The opinions of these players are the most important from this entire video. These are the most realistic expectations that you can get from the Wooting keyboard. Because the truth is, although it's a better keyboard, buying it may not always be the better decision. Ultimately, that's up to you to decide. But before you pull the trigger, I do want to mention that there's a new option that might be right for you. Price has always been a major factor as to why I personally don't recommend it. There's been a new product that's exploded onto the scene: rapid trigger keypads, with the most well-known being the Wooting Uwu. Priced at $50, this is a much cheaper option compared to the 60% or full-sized keyboard. And what's even better, there's been an explosion of keypad vendors and other community-made projects to make rapid trigger keypads even more cheaper and even more accessible. When I saw the price tag of some of Wooting's competitors, I was shocked. So I'll personally be buying every single rapid trigger supported keypad and finding out which one is the best bang for your buck. Subscribe with notifications on because you do not want to miss this. Huge thanks to everyone in the community for coming on and making this video possible. I'll have links to everyone's channels in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.